This is the podcast that we ask our guests from in front and behind the camera, how did they get their foot in the door? What was the key to unlocking their success? What's their story?
Join us as we speak to the cast of Netflix's Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. I'd love to ask, my podcast is usually about, how someone's career begins. And I'm really intrigued to know, how did you guys get into acting? What was the kind of the initial thing that made you go, I want to be an actor? And Adam, if you want to go first.
Oh, shoot. Okay. I never thought about it really until I went to university in Canada. I was studying life sciences and I was miserable. I have 4 older sisters and they all went the academic route. So I was like, oh, that's what you do. You just go to university and whatever. And then I got there and I was just miserable. I didn't like what I was studying. And I was just distracting myself watching on campus. They had this torrent website where you could watch movies and TV shows. And I was just really expanding what I was watching. And then I just had an epiphany. I mean, this is in Southern Ontario, Canada. I was just there's a film industry in the world and I could maybe work in it as a writer or an actor or something. And I just thought I would try acting first. And I went to Vancouver to study. I was really bad at first because I was really shy and in my shell. I got put on academic probation. And then I was I guess I gotta go for it. And then I was oh, it's better when you actually risk something in a performance. And then, I fell in love with it and got pretty fortunate to start working right after I graduated. One of my teachers recommended me to their agent and 2 of my classmates and just started working. What about you? Yeah, we never talked about that.
Well, I had a very different upbringing. I grew up with actor parents. Both my parents were actors, and working / struggling actors, which is what I think the reality is that most actors are. And I grew up, they're both Argentinian and they moved to America right before I was born. So they have very thick, heavy accents. So the opportunities for them were actually very, very limited, right? So for every 10 auditions that maybe I get to play American because I speak English, they would get 1 opportunity. So it was just very limited and it was very difficult. And I really saw them struggle and kind of struggle to break through. And only very few people out of that group did. And I kind of grew up a little bit resisting acting. I also grew up in Hollywood in LA, so it was around me everywhere. All my mom's friends were these beautiful Sofia Vergara-esque bombshell actresses that talk like this, and they're these the most beautiful women you've ever seen, all talented, and my dad too. And I just was how are these people not making it? They're so deserving and they're working so hard. And I had quite a bit of resistance against it. And I mean, I grew up in casting and audition rooms my entire life. My parents would pick me up from school. Wow. I'd bring my homework or my coloring book at 7 or 8. And my dad we got to call back in the Valley. We're going to the Valley. My parents said that I tried to get into a bunch of audition rooms and ham it up and try and get cast for something. But actually I did get cast in a Gap commercial. And I was unusable. And I was a child actor in the back that's and they couldn't use me. So that was my first acting experience. But long story short, to sum it up. Yeah, and then when I started modeling when I was 14 and working kind of at that full time and dropped out of school and everything, and then I just kind of was I know that I want to do this thing, but I'm really scared of it, and so I started taking classes, and then I got an agent, and I auditioned for years, didn't book anything, and then kind of had my first job at 18, 19, and then committed to it.
Yeah,
so wholeheartedly, left everything behind, moved back to LA, gave up modeling and focused on it. Everyone who's thinking about being an actor, just start training, whatever classes you can online, go to any audition that you get asked to go to. There's nothing like sitting in front of a casting director and failing hundreds of times before you start to figure out your rhythm as an actor.
Just get on your feet, just one foot in front of the other and physically do it.
Yeah.
Now for a quick break. We'll be back to the episode shortly.
If you enjoyed this episode and want to support us, get early access and exclusive content and episodes, click to join our YouTube channel and become a member now.
Please leave us a positive rating. Add us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at lifeinfilmpod. Essentially, please like and subscribe everything. It makes a huge difference. Thank you. Life in Film has partnered with BetterHelp to provide you with access to the largest online therapy service in the world. And it can all be done from the comfort of your own home, from a phone, tablet, or laptop. No commute, cutting down travel costs, and most importantly, it's affordable. With over 1,000 therapists in the UK, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a wide variety of expertise in mental health. If you need someone to talk to and you're thinking of giving therapy a go, BetterHelp is a great option. And being a listener of the podcast, you get 10% off. That's 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/lifeinfilm. That's betterhelp.com/lifeinfilm. We are sponsored by movieposters.com. Are you a movie fan? I presume you are. Well, at movieposters.com, you can shop for all your favorite posters in one place. The #1 source for high quality, authentic movie posters. From new releases to cult classics and 100% authentic originals. Thinking of having a browse? Well, if you see a poster that tickles your fancy, as a listener of the podcast, you get 10% off. That's 10% off with promo code lifeinfilm10. That's promo code lifeinfilm10. So why not give it a go? And back to the show.
Something doesn't add up.
I don't know what to do.
You're still getting married, right?
Ever since we got here, I feel like something weird is going on.
I want to marry you. And you want to marry me. Isn't that all that matters?
Normally when I get sent something to watch, I don't like to watch the whole thing because I'm like, oh, I'm going to give something away, but I couldn't stop watching this, so I have seen the whole thing.
Oh,
so
great.
spoiler alert for anyone, I might, things might come out that I don't want to come out, but what a fantastic show. It drags you in, the intrigue of what these two characters are going through and, you know, their journey and everyone else around them and what's going to happen. In terms of, you know, how this project came about for each of you, what was the process? Was it auditioning? Was it an offer? How did you get involved with this? And Camila, if you want to go first.
No offer for me. I did not get. I don't
No.
get the offers. I'm still fighting tooth and nail.
An offer would be nice.
Would have been nice.
You know,
I was filming The Night Manager, season 2 in the UK. I was in Spain and I got the audition and I was in the midst of kind of my heaviest workload in Spain and I saw the audition and my team called me and I was like, oh, it's got to be a big one because usually when I get the email audition plus the phone call, they're like, this is kind of urgent and you should read the script immediately and tell us if you want to go for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, I'm in the middle of filming and I'm doing a Colombian accent and I'm playing a Colombian arms dealer. I'm like in a very different headspace. I don't know that I can turn this around in time. And they said, just take a read, have a look. It's a really A+ creative team behind it. And so I did. And I was like, okay, I want to go for it. And I think I read with our casting director, Carmen Cuba, first on a Zoom. We did the scene a few times. We did 2 scenes, the pearl scene where I put the pearls into my teeth and then our diner scene. And then I got to read, and then I went through 3 or 4 rounds after that. 3 rounds after my initial audition. So it was 4 rounds of auditioning for me. And that last round was a chemistry read between us 2. How about you?
I think I
Let's
had,
come to you. Where were you?
God, where was I? I was in Vancouver, I think. Yeah, I was in Vancouver. Similar where like the audition came into the inbox and everyone was on my team was so excited about the project and the opportunity. And once I like saw who was involved and read the script, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I want to put my best foot forward. But then I had to do 2 auditions that day. And then my friend who I was taping with, she had to do 2 auditions. So I didn't really get to like do the scenes. Like, you know, I was like, I just did our first diner scene like a couple times and I like messed up at the end, but I was like, it's fine. Like it's fine. And then I did a couple more scenes and then we taped her for Rachel also. So I know all of this stuff.
Well, so you guys both went through the ringer. I'm glad to hear that because you feel like you guys were just getting offer and then
Like a ringer at all. It was fun. Yeah. I did that. And then I had a Zoom call back with Veronica and Haley. And then we had our chemistry read, which is really fun. Yeah. Cammy was in her hotel room and really kind of like blocked out the scene, like used the closet in the hotel room to like walk, you know, use the space, which was really fun. I think I like left the frame at one point to like help you look and like came back. It felt very like we were in sync, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I went through the ringer, but I also think that they were really trying to, like, I remember my audition with Veronica and Haley, and they made me do that, like, pearl crying scene probably, like, 6 times.
Tough scene.
And they were really, like, nitpicky on it, and they were like, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this, and they were really,
Right from this,
yeah,
I know,
like,
I singled you from this side.
they were really, they were really trying to vet me and, like, make sure I could do it and could, like, really take note
Wow.
and direction. Like, I kind of went through it. I worked hard for this role. I went through.
The performances from both of you guys are incredible, and both your characters on the screen. It's so important that you have that. You know, obviously, you can give away the fact that you're going to get married. I think that's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
But you know, the connection between you two and how it evolves and changes as well. It was just fantastic to watch. Thank you both for taking the time, and I really enjoyed the show. I'm hoping that somehow there might be another series, but if you've seen it, you know, don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe.
Disagree.
I mean, I
Maybe.
think
For some people, possibly. But
Some people have gone bye-bye for season 2. Some people are back.
take care, guys. Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this episode and you want to support us, get early access and exclusive content, all ad-free, click and join the Life in Film YouTube channel and become a member now. Thank you to our guests, Camila and Adam. Thank you to the team at Organic PR, and thank you to Netflix. As always, thank you to our sponsors, BetterHelp and MoviePosters.com.
My name's Elliot Langridge, and it's the Life in Film podcast.
Did he paint his back? Is that a backdrop?
Got a good background, right?
Wow.
awesome.
I love it.